Viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of Aligning with the Divine. Today's episode 18. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Muminun, أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And they will be the inheritors, those who inherit Firdaus, and they will remain in there forever. What is this referring to? Who are the inheritors? Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use this word? What's the context behind these verses? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Muminun, He's describing the traits of the believers. Those who are humble and conscious of Allah in salah, those who give zakah actively, those who stay away from idle talk, those who protect their private parts, those who fulfill their trusts and amanas, and those who are protective over their salahs, they will be the inheritors. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use this? You only inherit something from someone who's older than you. Generally, that's how it works, with your mum or your father. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that what we should be actually inheriting and the way we should view inheritance in this context here is that our true father of humankind is Adam alayhi salam. What home and abode belonged to Adam alayhi salam? Where was his first residence? Where did he reside? He resided in Jannah. So that's his home. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I have called you inheritors. Why? Because if you do all of these things that draw you back to where you came from, i.e. Jannah, then this is basically you being inheritors of your father's home, Adam alayhi salam, which is Jannatul Firdaws. That's the first thing. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling the believers inheritors. It's being very, very specific. He's drawing a direct relationship between insan and the father of insan, and then the property that the father of insan, Adam alayhi salam, owned, which is Jannah. That's the first point I wanted to mention. Second point I wanted to mention is actually something deeper. That, human beings, when they grow older in life, they move out of their parents' home. They move out of their family home. They go on to get married and they settle down in their own place and they try to build their own dwelling. But every time the child comes back to their home, their family home, even in their old age, they get remnants and warm memories, and a lot of things come back to them, flooding back to them. This is how mom used to cook. This is where dad used to sit. This is what we used to watch at this time, and this is what we used to do on this day. So all these memories start coming back. Why? It's because that's where the heart felt most attached to. That's where home is. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again doing in these ayahs, as a second point, is He's trying to tell insan, your home isn't dunya. So if you feel out of place, if you feel that you don't belong here, if you feel that life is hard, if you feel like there's just no synergy between you and how the world is, there's many reasons as to why the world is the way it is. I'm saying even when Islam does return, problems will still exist. Things won't be how our true home is, which is Jannah, because Jannah is where perfection exists. Allah is saying, don't become attached to this dunya. Don't create a false sense of security in your mind that this is home, because it's not home. It comes with a lot of trials, it comes with a lot of tribulations. You will never feel comfortable here because it's not your abode. Your abode is actually Jannatul Firdaws al-A'la. So there's the 2 points that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to drive to us through these 2 ayahs, that home is Jannah, and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called us inheritors is because our father is Adam alayhi salam and his abode was Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people of those who attach their souls to our true home, which is Jannah, and just use the dwellings of these homes as, you could call them Airbnbs, just to find our way back to where we actually came from. So all good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any mistakes are from myself. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.